Happy Wednesday, and welcome to the second episode of Uncovering the Corners of the World. I'm your host, Karina Kasmala. Each episode, and each week, through research and in some cases personal experiences visiting these places, I'll be explaining some of the hidden locations and attractions found in the United States and around the globe. This week, let's start out in Belknap, Illinois, where what appears to be only a typical 8.5 acre lake, like any other lake in Illinois, might be deceiving. Between Vienna and Metropolis on US 45 in Illinois is Mermet Springs, a dive site and scuba training facility located at 6724 North US 45 Belknap, Illinois, Southern Illinois. Under the dark waters of Mermet Springs lays the Boeing 727 from the 1998 U.S. Marshals film that was purposely sunk. The plane's tail is 15 feet deep and its nose is 50 feet deep. In the film, the plane was used for prisoner transport, specifically transporting the actor Wesley Snipes' character. However, the official website for Mermet Springs Dive-In First Class says that the appearance of the Boeing 727, with its feet restraints, cage door, mechanical locking system, and open toilet, among other features, does not completely represent a real prisoner transfer plane, since the real prisoner transfer planes look like standard regular planes. Though the hollow Boeing 727 isn't the only attraction underwater. There is also a school bus, semi-truck, motorcycle, railroad coal car, and ambulance, among the other 30 or so attractions there. What else lurks in the darkness are bluegill and giant albino catfish, as well as the American paddlefish, and the very lucky ones will spot a freshwater jellyfish. The American paddlefish, a spoonbill is another name for it, is the official Missouri state aquatic animal that weighs 60 pounds and is 5 feet or more in length. The American paddlefish has a flat spatula-like nose, officially called a rostrum, that extends past its eyes and mouth and has the body of what looks like a shark, if I were to describe it. These fish made their appearances on National Geographic in 2013. These fish are also filter feeders and eat microscopic animals that eat algae. In order to visit Mermet Springs and its attractions, visitors will have to go through scuba diving or snorkeling course with a trained instructor. Specifically the SSI specialty course, Wreck Diver, the training that will let you explore treasures underwater. Traveling roughly 1 hour and 7 minutes, or 55.9 miles, from Mermet Springs is a cave that holds its own stories of gambling, piracy, and murder. The large 55-foot wide limestone cave is found in Cave and Rock State Park, located at 1 New State Park Road, Cave and Rock, Illinois, on the Ohio River. Surrounding the cave is the Shawnee National Forest. The cave was discovered by M. de Lery of France in 1739, and he named it Caverne dans la Roc, Cave and Rock. History of the cave's piracy traces back to 1790, where the cave was used by pirates as a hideout, and they would attack boats that flowed down the Ohio River carrying valuable materials. These pirates would also gamble and drink during this time. Among the several pirates who were believed to stop by the cave in rock include Samuel Mason, who was an officer of the George Washington's Revolutionary Army in 1797, according to the History of Illinois State Parks. And he turned the cave into a tavern, calling it Cave in Rock. Samuel Mason was known for robbing people in the 1770s, and he was kicked out of the town of Henderson, Kentucky, Red Banks, as it was called then, after killing the man who was supposed to make sure Mason didn't get into any more trouble. Samuel Mason didn't stop at Cave in Rock for long before traveling to the Mississippi River Valley in Arkansas. The Cave in Rock was later a home in the 1800s to the Harp brothers, Micaiah Big Harp and Willie Little Harp. The Harp brothers were serial killers who escaped their execution in Kentucky and continued their killings in Illinois. The cave served as a hideout for them and their families. Sources said that they killed at least 39 people in Kentucky, Tennessee, Illinois, and Mississippi before they were officially caught. The Cave in Rock was also used in the 1962 movie How the West Was Won. And in the movie, it was used like how it was used in real life, where bandits would capture their travelers. Now let's travel to Chicago for our last attraction this week. Located in Good Templar Park, Geneva, Illinois, stands the Viking, or specifically a history museum called Friends of the Viking ship. 78 feet long, 17 feet wide, and 6.5 feet high from the bottom of the keel, which is the backbone of a ship, to the top edge of the ship, also known as the gunwale, is the Viking. This ship was built from Norway's traditional methods of using iron rivets, which look like screws without the curves. Sitting on the front of the ship is the dragon's head, and on the end of the ship is the dragon's tail. A ship that was originally built in Norway in 1892 to 1893. Specifically in Sandefjord, Norway. This ship was based off of the Viking ship found in Kingsmound in Gokstad near Sandefjord, Norway in the 1880s. In the 1920s, the Federation of Norwegian Women's Societies began to restore the appearance of the ship. An exact replica that stands today, according to the official website of Friends of the Viking Ship. The Friends of the Viking Ship is an organization dedicated to raise money to protect and preserve the history of the ship, such as making wooden support systems to help the ship stand in place, a cradle as they call it. Before the Friends of the Viking Ship organization, the Norwegian American community was also known as the Viking Ship Restoration Committee, helped maintain the appearance of the ship. Using the Erie Canal and the Great Lakes in Michigan, the Viking ship sailed from Norway to Chicago in 1893 at the World's Columbian Exposition. The World's Columbian Exposition was a way to celebrate Columbus's voyage to North America, and according to sources, it was a way to show America's power and values. The ship then sailed to New Orleans before returning to Chicago at its final destination. The Viking ship today does not include the dragon head and tail, but it can be seen in the museum nearby. Thanks for listening this week. Tune in next week as we explore other hidden attractions with their own hidden stories. Thanks for listening this week to Episode 2, Above and Underwater in Illinois. Tune in next week as we explore other hidden attractions with their own hidden stories on Uncovering the Corners of the World. New episodes released every Wednesday.